What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Simple Reacts. Glad to be back. Today we are bringing you Dutch systems that might just be the best. I'm kind of interested, I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually very interested to see what else the Dutch are winning at. The word on the screen. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump into this. If you guys do enjoy this, though, make sure you go check out Casey Kilmore's channel. Show her some support over there. Dig through the videos, see what else you guys want to get reactions to. Bring them on over here, and we just might check them out. So yeah, like I said, without further ado, let's get into this one.
Alright. I was having a conversation the other day. How long ago was this? Not that long ago. And we were talking about some pretty principal differences between the Netherlands and Australia and the systems, and despite what's going on at the moment, how much me and my partner actually do want to get back to the Netherlands. And I kind of found myself having to justify this. And when it comes down to it, the systems and the way the country is set up is so much better than how so many other countries do that. So I wanted to make a video explaining basically all of the things that I think the Netherlands do better than most other countries.
Okay, I'm down.
So most of these topics could easily have a video just on that topic. So if anyone wants that, let me know in the comments below. This video is more of an overview of some of the main things that I think the Netherlands kind of nails, and you guys can decide for yourself if the Netherlands really is the best country.
I mean, from everything I've seen, right? You guys definitely have a lot going for the heritage, the culture, just the whole background, everything. I mean, you guys are the Dutch Lantians, so. All right.
So, you know what I read on Wikipedia the other day when I was researching this video is that the Netherlands ranked #1 in a study comparing healthcare systems between America, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and Germany.
Huh.
Is this crazy? I knew that I liked the healthcare system in the Netherlands, but I had no idea that it had ranked so highly amongst what most people consider to be Western functional healthcare systems, except for America. I don't know what's going on with their healthcare system.
We don't even, Casey, we don't even know what's going on with our healthcare
system. Now,
we don't
this
even
study
know.
was actually done in 2010, so quite a while ago, but still, the system is good and it works. And I know there are going to be expats that come at me in the comments being like, my doctor only gives me Panadol. I can only speak from experience. I got really sick during my pregnancy while I was in the Netherlands, and I was so well looked after, and the system was amazing, and I had no issues getting the help when I needed it. So for me, I feel like the Dutch healthcare system is almost faultless.
I mean, that's the biggest thing for healthcare. When you walk in there and need help and they help you, or if they don't. And I feel like a lot of healthcare systems just kind of fall short in that department. But is it the healthcare itself, or is it the people working? That's the other unfortunate part.
So a little bit more into how it actually works. There are basically two categories. So you've got this collective pool of funds that basically come from everyone paying their contribution. So everyone in the Netherlands is required to pay for health insurance. And then that covers people going to the doctor, people needing to go to hospital, and things like that. The second pool of funds basically comes from the government. So the government paid for things like long-term care and people that need ongoing treatment, terminal illnesses, and care that's required with disabilities. So
you mean they actually take care of the people?
All of that is then pulled into
awesome,
another
honestly.
fund. So you've got these really two groups. Now, when I tell people that the health insurance in the Netherlands is compulsory, a lot of people are concerned, like, what happens if you can't pay it? What happens if you're on a budget or you've lost your job or, all of these things when you can't pay a compulsory bill. So the Netherlands basically gives you a subsidy. So if you're a student, if you earn under a certain amount, or if you can't pay for your health insurance, they will give you the funds to pay for your health insurance. So as a child in the Netherlands, you actually stay on your parents' plan and your parents' health insurance for a lot longer than you would here in Australia. So I think that the way that this is set up is fantastic. And
I think here in America, at least when I was growing up, it was 18 years of age or until you were out of school, if I remember correct. And I don't know if it's the same. Unfortunately, I'm on disability, so I don't even have health insurance. I probably should. I did at one point, and then the whole healthcare system kind of did a switch over. I can't remember if it was during the Obama administration. Probably, because it wasn't that long ago. But all of a sudden, now I just don't have healthcare. Like, I have medicine I'm supposed to take and can't because it's extremely expensive. And too much to get into. Doesn't really matter. All right, let's go.
more socialistic idea of healthcare is obviously benefiting everyone. Now, this next system that I want to talk about is kraamzorg. I always have a really
Kraamzorg?
hard time translating this word into English.
Kraamzorg?
I kind of just, it's like an after birth nurse. I think that's how I would
Oh,
say it.
okay.
There's basically this person that comes to your house for anywhere between a week, I think, to about 10 days. And they help you. They help you be a first time parent. They can help you with breastfeeding advice. They can help you with checking the temperature and the weight gain of your baby. They also check on you as a mum. And
Now, I heard something about births out there are normally at home. Do you guys? I can't remember if the midwife was something that was used or not. Um, we use midwives here. It's the nurse that you meet with. She does all of your prenatal stuff, does all of your checkups during pregnancy, and then normally they are the same person that also delivers your child for you. So you build up this reputation and this relationship with this person, this doctor, nurse, or whatever, um, person in the field of medicine for children. That's really all that matters. And I feel like it's definitely a lot more of a personal thing at the end of it, right? Um, but one thing I do remember is they do offer an aftercare nursing, kind of like if you are a first time parent to help you out. I don't know if they still do, but at least they did back in the day. So
and how your recovery and healing is going.
I think that's
And the
really
fact that you
cool,
don't
though.
have to cart yourself down to a clinic when you're a new parent and getting out of the house in that first week or so is really difficult. This is like a godsend. And if there are any Dutch parents or expats or people that have had babies in the Netherlands, you will know when you've really got a good kraamzorg nurse. I believe they have this system in Germany as well. But we do not
Huh.
have this in Australia. And when I was telling my friends about it, their minds were blown. This is crazy. This is so amazing and it helped so much. So if you are from another country and you also have a system like this, I'd love to know. So let me know in the comments below, because as far as I know, I think it's only a thing that's done perhaps also in Scandinavia, but the Netherlands and Germany definitely. But kraamzorg is the best. When I was telling my friends, obviously, how affordable it was too, the fact that the majority of that cost is covered by basic cover health insurance, and that I think as a parent or like as a contributor, you pay like €4 or something an hour for how much time you've requested. So
Oh, wow.
just that it's so accessible to basically everyone
Yeah.
is not only amazing that they offer this as a service, but the fact that it's covered by the Dutch government and then they encourage a lot of people to take up their offer and make it affordable and achievable for all income levels to be able to have access to that. This is
It's mind
so
blowing.
amazing.
Yeah, it is. That is really cool.
So as
Now, this is something, in America, I am not aware that any man gets. Just
As of
saying.
July 1st, 2020, the paternity leave for fathers in the Netherlands has just increased to 6 weeks. This is
Wow.
such an amazing step forward.
Yeah, it
Paternity
is.
leave has shown in multiple studies globally that it increases GDP, it increases women in the workforce, and it also decreases the gender pay gap. So the fact that
Yeah.
the Netherlands is taking initiative and increasing the paternity leave to 6 weeks is such an amazing thing. I believe here in Australia, a father is entitled to 2 weeks, which was
That's
also the
cool.
old system. So the Netherlands also had a 2 week policy. But the fact that it's increased to 6 weeks just in the last year has been such an amazing step forward by the Dutch government. It'll be interesting to see how many fathers actually take up this offer. It's obviously not compulsory. They don't have a use it or lose it policy like Japan or Norway. So it will be
Okay.
interesting to see how this plays out over the coming years. But needless to say, this is an awesome, awesome system. And I think it's something that the Netherlands is really starting to do right.
I mean, this video came out in February. So if there is something different, like are people using this, let me know down in the comments. I'm interested to know. I think that's a great,
The
great
Netherlands
system.
is the
That's really cool.
second largest exporter of fruits and vegetables. When I read this completely shocked me. I had no
Yeah, you
idea
mean
that a
it's not
country
tulips?
so small as the Netherlands was one of the biggest leading agricultural exporters globally. Like, this is crazy. The way that the Netherlands has developed the technology to farm the way that they have is so interesting. The use of greenhouses and closed loop watering systems and vertical gardens. It's just, when you look
Vertical
into
gardens
it,
are really
it's
cool.
such an amazing feat. They're
It's
able
an
to use
amazing
less
way to grow
pesticides, and they're
things like
able to grow
tomatoes.
a variety of fruit that wouldn't normally grow in the Netherlands either. So things
That's
like
cool.
capsicum, which is paprika, chilies and tomatoes, and things that are
Oh,
normally grown in warmer climates. So the Netherlands has basically given
paprika.
themselves full control over the climate and the environment through the technology that they've developed, and they can essentially grow anything. I think being a small country has almost forced them to be a little bit more efficient with the way they use space. So
Agreed.
it's definitely been an added benefit
Unless they're lighting fireworks off and trying to burn it all down with the world's biggest pallet fires. But aside from that, yeah,
to the
absolutely.
development of agriculture and farming in the Netherlands. This is another thing that they
I'm sorry,
do
guys.
really, really well. And it obviously helps the Dutch economy as well. So, with the Paris Agreement, I feel like talking
I
about
don't
this
know
at
what
the
that
moment as
is.
an Australian is kind of embarrassing just because of our backwards thinking and our ability to pretend that there's nothing wrong. And we have a government
I
that's
got this far in editing before I
to
realized what.
pretend that there's nothing wrong. And we have a government
Had you
that's
not pointed
not
that out, I
really
honestly
voicing the
never would
concerns
have
of the public
noticed.
here. That is a discussion for
I'm
another
glad you
day.
enjoyed it though. Hell
However,
yeah.
I was looking into what the Netherlands has proposed and what the Netherlands are doing and their roles and initiatives that they're setting up to reach the goals that they set for the country when they signed up for the Paris Agreement. And I have left a link below if you want to read the whole report, because it's a massive thing, but you
Yeah,
can find in the report
I'll have to check
exactly
it out.
how much they're planning to spend and how much they're contributing in terms of the whole EU and things like that as well. But essentially, they're drawing right back on coal mining and basically putting plants at a minimum run and investing more in wind power, offshore wind power facilities. The Netherlands is essentially aiming for a 95% reduction by 2050. So it'll be interesting to see
Wow.
how the plans that they're proposing now will
Holy
actually
crap.
allow them to reach those goals, because it's a pretty massive goal, really. The government is providing a $3 billion subsidy program to sort of invest in renewable energy, including home refits and new plants being set up and policy tweaks on livestock numbers. So they're kind of tackling it from all angles. So when I was reading the report, I was super impressed by the way the Netherlands is kind of following up with their actions and not just talking the talk, but kind of bringing to the table what they're actually going to do to reach the goals that they set for the Paris Agreement. So this
Yeah,
is one of those
very
things that I think the
respectable.
Netherlands is doing quite well.
Cycling.
The next
Now I'll tell you right off the bat, recycling in America is us putting things in pretty colored bins and them just throwing it all in the same spot anyway. Maybe not all of the time, maybe not every facility, but it has been uncovered that that is what happens. Unfortunately, there are states where you can recycle and get paid for like glass and stuff like that. I know you guys have like what is the plastic bottles? You get paid for plastic bottles. That's insane to me. That's so cool, honestly.
next thing that might make the
Let's see if she's
Netherlands
gonna
maybe
talk
one of
about
the
that
best
too.
countries in the world is their recycling and statiegeld. I don't really know how to
That
translate that into English because we don't have it
Statiegeld.
here in Australia, but statiegeld is essentially when
Statiegeld.
you pay for a bottle or a glass bottle, like a plastic bottle or a glass bottle, you can actually take it back to
Yes,
your
there it is.
supermarket and get that money back. So
Oh,
you have an incentive.
see, we have one state that I know of, Maine, the next state above where I am, that they actually have small facilities. I guess you bring all your glass bottles and put them in this machine, and then they pay you for them.
As a customer to return that bottle. Even without the statiegeld, the Netherlands, I think, is like number 3 for the percentage of waste that we actually recycle. And I think just living there and seeing how the system works, I even found myself recycling far more than I do in Australia. Everything's really clear, everything has a place, and it's always really accessible. They're not few and far between.
Yeah.
There was recycling points that were always near our house. And I'm just speaking from my experience in Amsterdam, but being able to bring batteries and light globes and things back to the supermarket and then having the 3 separate bins for cardboard and then one for glass, and it just makes the whole system idiot proof, if that makes any sense. We have a version of statiegeld in Australia that isn't really that functional. Certain states can act as hubs for places that you can actually take your cans and things back to, but WA is a massive one, and that's a 5-day drive away. So there's no way that I would actually save all of my cans and glasses and then drive them across another 2 states to get to Western Australia, spending
It almost seems
5 days worth of petrol and time to get like $3 back.
It almost seems like they do it to keep in like busier places, and I don't know if that's true out there, but I feel like it's definitely busier places that have the bigger hubs with more incentives, and then everybody else kind of has to travel. Because, like I said, the only place that we can recycle glass and get paid for it's in Maine that I know of. I mean, maybe they started doing it here. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't seen it. So incentive.
So I think that the system
Come
that
to
we
our
have
state
in
and spend
Australia
money.
is completely flawed. We do have recycling facilities, but they're not as accessible as I think they are in the Netherlands, and there's not many incentives for people to want to do it. In Europe as a whole, people in the Netherlands produce more rubbish per head than the rest of Europe, but they're also recycling more than the rest of Europe. So to be sitting at number 3
How
means
much
that
waste
the
are you actually
program
producing?
is obviously working enough for people to be able to access it and use it, and it's functional and practical. So I think the recycling system and the statiegeld system that is in the Netherlands is amazing and something that other countries should definitely be looking at too.
And a huge shout out to the people who participate in it, right? Because anybody can implement anything at any point in time that is part of government or whatever, right? They can come down and be like, "Hey, you gotta do this." But if the people don't do it, they don't participate in it, then it's not gonna happen, right? So huge shout out to the people that take this seriously, and do your part to make sure that you're recycling correctly. I think that's really cool.
Now, that was a very quick overview of some of the main systems that I find are super, super well done here in the Netherlands. There's a whole range of topics: the political system, the voting system, the refugee policy, other things in the Netherlands that I'd love to talk about. If I missed anything, like always, leave a comment below. I love to read through them, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Yeah, I'd love to see more about the recycling piece. If she has a video about that, I guess then that's where we need to go. Maybe I should leave a comment. I mean, we're definitely going to leave a like on this video. Obviously, we're already subscribed, so I highly, I just lost the word. Go subscribe is what I'm trying to say. Make sure you guys go subscribe. Um, I highly encourage you guys to go subscribe. Sorry, my mind is just, I'm out of it, all right? I'm just out of it a little bit. All right. Let me know what you guys thought about this one down in the comments below. Let me know if there is some recycling stuff or anything about that Paris plan or what the Paris project. What the hell was that called? I can't remember now. I'm gonna have to look into that too a little bit. But let me know what you guys thought. Let me know where you want to go. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. Make sure you guys stay safe, stay healthy, stay positive. I'll catch you on the next one.